The Jesus Trilogy, Book 2, Then There Were Two, Chapter 49. Hi, baby, the two lovers embraced. You taste good, he said. I missed you so much, she said, her lips still clinging to his. Me too. Squeeze me tight, baby, she said, tears coming to her eyes. Their lips and tongues intertwined, and soon their bodies became one. It was nearly 3 hours later that the two lovers, filled with satisfied exhaustion, resumed conversation. Baby, I think it happened. What's that, beautiful? He could not wipe the smile off his face. I think we just made a baby Joseph. He tried to raise his head to kiss her, but could not lift it. He squeezed her hand instead. They stared at one another, both grinning. The smile uses less muscle than a frown, so they both had smiles of perpetuity. That is, until their depleted stores of love hormones were replenished. Baby, I need to tell you something else. What's that, my love? I had a little trouble at school. Still too weak to raise his head, he said. Is there anything I can do to help? I need your advice and counsel, dearest sweetheart. How about a kiss first? She slid closer to him, and again their lips met. It only took a couple of minutes to re-exhaust the two lovers. One of my professors put a move on me. Which one, baby? Dr. Martini. Really? I had a conversation with him a few months ago. Seemed like a nice guy. How'd you hold him off? Mary related the incident at Mr. Martini's desk and then how her classmate had saved her when she broke in on them. Mary and the classmate had been sworn to silence by Mr. Martini. He said he would fail both Mary and Zella, and both readily took an oath of silence. They expressed their need to get an A in the class and wanted to make Mr. Martini swear he would not come on to either of them ever again. But he refused to guarantee any such thing. He told them both they were too beautiful, and after all, he was a man, a Roman man. In fact, while he was holding Mary, he pulled Zella to him and kissed her full on the lips. She and Zella were then dismissed by their teacher, both shaking from fear and guilt. Jesus' face had now turned red, and prickly sweat broke out on his back. "You can't get away with that kind of behavior. Baby, I'm sorry. I love you so much. I would never do anything to hurt you. Ever, ever, ever." She burst into tears. He held her as she cried uncontrollably. After a few minutes, her tears slowed. "Baby, I guess I've had the same kind of encounter with Gentile." She looked at him intently. "Baby, what happened?" she said, her tear-stained face tasting of salt. After that rally and all the strange things that took place, he had written her about the food and the wine business. I had to go to Judas' post-rally party at the Capernaum Towers Hotel. It was a great party. About halfway through, I got a note telling me to meet Judas for a short conference in room 408. I went up, and at first no one was there. I looked around the suite, went into the bathroom, and suddenly the door shut behind me. The bath water was drawn. I turned to see Gentile standing there naked, holding the bathroom door key in her left hand. I stood there in shock. She locked the door and then slowly put the key in her, he pointed to Mary's groin area. "Her vagina?" Mary exclaimed. "I can't believe it. What'd you do, baby?" His face turned a deeper red. "She turned you on, didn't she?" "Well, it's okay. That's normal, baby. It means you're a normal male." "I'm sorry, baby." "You don't have to be sorry," she said curiously. "What happened next?" I asked her for the key, and she said, "You'll have to get it yourself, sweetie." She started kissing me all over. I kept pulling away. The power of women, baby. We all have the power. Mr. Martini was wrong. He didn't catch her last comment or its significance. Well, she began to get angry. Unfortunately, that only fueled her determination and desire. "So then?" Mary gestured for him to go on. She found herself not only curious but aroused by this story. I asked her what Judas would say, and she said he was in the next suite with Senator Joe Vann's daughter. I sat down on the bed in amazement. She wouldn't quit kissing me. I kept pushing her away, and I never kissed her back or made any move to her. You've got to believe that, Mary. I do, baby. She squeezed his hand. Then what? Despite my resistance, as my arousal increased, there was a knock on the door. As it opened, I kept pushing her away. Who was it? Mary asked, her interest in her own arousal arising. Judas, of all people. I thought he'd be furious, but he said, How was she? Hope you had a good time. She is the best. I apologized profusely. Then I stood up and Judas asked Gentile if I had satisfied her. I just sat there and began to cry. Judas walked his still naked wife out of the room. He was laughing and I was crying. Finally he came back, still laughing. She's in love with you, you know, he said. I told him that was wrong. We were both married to other people. I told him I loved my wife, would always love her, and would never do anything to hurt her. I somehow controlled my anger. It welled up in me to the point of nearly hitting him, but I started to pray. Somehow I cooled down. As we left, he told me that she wanted to see me again. He would call and arrange things. I told him that would never be possible. I told him my trust in him and our friendship was in jeopardy. Judas, as you know, is not a deep thinker, and he just brushed the whole thing off, just as if it never happened. He beckoned me to come downstairs with him and put his arm on my shoulder. The two lovers, Mary and Jesus, now stared into one another's eyes with a renewed understanding of their own love. They both had weakened, but weathered storms. Both had come through unscathed. They knew there would be more storms. But in the next hour they made an eternal commitment to love one another forever, without saying a word.